Hi everyone. Can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. Hi everyone. Welcome to a new live today. So, hi 100 Women of Color. Welcome to week 7 of the 100 Women of Color in Jobs Challenge. We've got just 5 weeks left, and I need you to lock in now more than ever. This is like go time. We are no longer warming up. We are not just looking for jobs, we are preparing to land them. Am I communicating? And that's why this week is all about interview mastery. Part 2, if you've not seen part 1, go and watch it. So, part 2, technical and role specific interviews, or as I like to say, speaking their language so they know you belong in the room. So, why is this week so critical? At this point, we are expected to have started landing interviews, and at this point, some of us already have people reaching out back to us, and others are really, really close to landing those interviews. But when that door opens, you need to walk in ready. You need to walk in like you've been waiting for it for the last 6 weeks, because you have been. So these are not like generic interviews anymore. They're asking you, can she do the work? Can she solve the problem? Can she deliver value from the one? But this is where confidence meets competence, and we are going to get you ready to answer with both. We are answering with confidence and we are answering with competence. So yeah, today's workshop is just very simple. You need to get your book and your bio, write down the questions. After the live session, you can decide to spend more time and study. So the workshop team is around speaking their language. Who is the dear? The employers, the recruiters, whoever you're speaking to. So this week's workshop is going to be focusing on understanding the specific language, understanding the expectations, the formats that are specific to your industry. Do you get me? So, how do we prepare for case studies? How do you prepare for whiteboard tasks? How do you prepare for scenario based interviews? How do you frame your experience in a way that resonates with hiring managers? So, these are like the really important things, because if you're in tech or fintech, health tech, data, law, ops, or even marketing, each field has like different ways of testing your feet, or for the role or for the organization. So step one, I need you to know your interview format. This is very important. You need to ask the right questions from the very first instance where your interviews are being booked, or you research. So what does a typical interview look like for this role? Most organizations are going to give you a hint of what you're supposed to expect, but should in case they're not mentioning it, you need to ask. And if they say, oh, we can't divulge information, you need to do your research. So normally it might include a whiteboard task, e.g., walk us through a user journey or a process or a system, or it could include a case study. For instance, how would you structure compliance for X company, or how would you launch this particular feature as maybe a product manager or a project manager, or give us a live scenario. For example, a stakeholder pushes back, what do you do? So these are like realistic questions that might be asked, and you need to write down all these questions and have real answers to them. Step 2 will be to speak their language, speak the recruiter's language, speak the head of whatever industry you're getting into this language. The same experience told two different ways can make or break your outcome. So, for instance, yeah, like Beatrice, let's apply as a compliance manager role. For a compliance manager role, instead of saying I reviewed document and ensured compliance, what you could rather say is something around, this would make you more competent and know exactly what you're doing. You could rather say, I led the end-to-end compliance framework for onboarding flows that then resulted or is resulting in a 3-day turnaround instead of a 2 weeks turnaround. And this has enabled us to like launch in 3 new markets without regulatory issues, right? So you see, do you see the shift? Can you see the shift? So it's technical, is result driven, and is aligned with the role. Step 3 will be that you need to prepare role specific answers. I cannot emphasize this enough. So when you begin to treat your interviews like you have an exam, it starts to make sense to you. So for instance, this week your job is to craft like 2 answers that are tailored to your specific role. Use examples that show strategy. Use examples that shows decision making. Use examples that show that your technical skills. Use examples that show strategy, decision making, technical skills. Use examples that also show stakeholders management. And then you need to also use examples that shows that you have problem solving skills under pressure. Reminds me of a joke around after you've told them you can work under pressure and now the pressure is there. But honestly, you need to have an example that shows that you can actually work under pressure. Pressure shouldn't be an everyday thing, but have examples of such. Let's talk about an example regarding a product role. So for instance, you can say when we launched X feature, Y feature, W feature, I noticed early users drop off, so I then proposed a flow change using its maps and then ran an A/B test, which increased activation by 22%. That's an example. Let me give you an example of an ops role, which is operational role. So let's say I redesigned the onboarding process for remote agents using Zapier automations, and this helped to reduce our manual workload by 40%. I hope you can see what I'm driving at. There are numbers, they are quantifying figures that is saying how much impact you have. So this week's assignment will be to prepare 2 role-specific interviews answers. Identify the 2 most likely questions that are based on your field, and then write your responses using either the STAR or problem solution outcome format. But I really would just say use the STAR method, right? And then submit for peer review or body feedback, and then send it to me, please. I need to see it. So this is a deliverable, peer reviewed responses. Get your answers from your body and then share your answers in the community, and let's see what that is about. Also, the goal is not perfection. I keep saying it, you don't need to be perfect. If it has to be perfect, then you don't need us. So it doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be ready. So you are closer to interviews than you think. And so when that call comes, I want you to be ready to own the room, right? Another reminder is that interviews are not just about answers. Have you ever done an interview and you just feel like, I didn't give the right answers, or you gave the right answers and you just felt something was not enough? Yes, that's because interview is also about the energy you're bringing into the room. Interview is also about the presence. The interview is also about the structure. The interview is also about the connection. So you're not just trying to memorize answers, like you're just spilling it out, no. So you need to practice telling your story continuously. This is why I'm hounding you guys. I'm hounding you guys to like record the video. Let's see what you're up to in interview processes when we are not there. Practice telling your story with clarity. Practice telling your story with power, with intentionality. You can't just leave it to chance. The more you practice, the better you get. So feel free to record the video if that's what you're more comfortable with. But please answer those questions. And then next week we'll go into, yeah, fingers crossed, we're meant to go into offer negotiation and workplace readiness. But before we get the offers, we need to nail the conversation. So let's see how that goes. And then finally, I would say this last 5 weeks are everything. There is no more playing small. I'm not saying we were playing small before, we were preparing, but no more playing small, no more almost. You're going to show up like the job is already yours and make them believe it. Again, you're going to show up like the job is yours already and you're going to make them believe it. The biggest mistake they can do is interview you. So you're not behind, you're not late, you're exactly where you need to be. And this week we will show them why. Drum rolls. So let's go get it, guys. Let's go get it. We had a conversation yesterday and we had targets, and I'm expecting that we at least put in an effort today, and the following week, which is next week, even the weekend can be, something special that we can't say. Reach out to people still, and let's get those interviews in. I'll see you guys next week. And yeah, I'm always on Discord in case you want to send a message, or if it's an email that is very formal, please shoot it to VB. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And if you're feeling anyhow, let us know. That's why we're here. See you, take care, and bye.